Caught you on that phone, Tanya. How you doing today? Unmute yourself.
I am looking for our counterpart today. I was wondering where
I
Anthony
was
was.
asking the same question. Where's Tony? Where's Anthony? You know,
So
another man was coming on the call today, and he decided to just get out. I guess.
I don't know. I don't know, but hi there. So I just got his voicemail. So I guess, hey, we got it all alone today.
All right. Oh, he's coming on.
I don't know. I just got his voicemail.
Okay. Well, what did he say?
I got his voicemail.
Oh, Oh, you didn't leave. You didn't leave a message. Okay, gotcha. Well, eventually he'll get on here and realize that he's supposed to be on here at 1 o'clock this afternoon. We even started late for him.
Yep.
Being on it. All right, guys. Good afternoon. Good afternoon to everyone. Today is Friday. Guess what today's Friday is? Financial Sense, and this is where my granddaughter's in the studio. You got to be quiet. Okay. So I went to Massachusetts, picked her up, brought her here, and she'll be with me for about 2 weeks. No, 5 weeks. 5 weeks. Okay, but this is Financial Sense, and we're gonna be here every Friday. Yeah, that's real funny. Wait till your grands get over there. We're gonna be here every Friday at 1 o'clock, and our purpose here is to give you what you're looking for when it comes to understanding your money. Um, Financial Sense is part of ATR, All Things Relevant Media. And this is a hot topic today we're going to be going over today. It's going to be over talking about men being in charge of money. How are men going to be charging money? We're going to go over that real quick. There's something called a budget. Someone has to handle the budget within the family. So we're with ATR. Very excited to be here. This is your show. You guys come with any questions that you have. We're going to be able to answer your questions. If we're not able to answer those questions, guess what? We'll make sure that we get the answers for you on our next meeting. So this is Mad Flow, and Mad Flow stands for Making a Difference for Life and Others. I'm not crazy, guys. I'm not crazy at all. So don't think you're dealing with a crazy person. So this is I am a financial educator. What I do is I teach people how to understand their money because a lot of people do not understand how to make that money work for them. I know you work real hard for it, but man, if you're working hard for it, you know how to make that money work hard for you, you're in trouble. Because while you're sleeping, guess what should be happening? Your money should not be sleeping. Your money should be working hard for you. So this is Mad Flow, financial educator, hyped up to be here today. And my partner today, co-host with me today is going to be Tanya Scott Pilcher. And we're waiting on Anthony. I guess Anthony will get here as soon as he can. But Tanya, go ahead and tell them about you.
Good afternoon and welcome everyone. I'm Tanya Scott Pilcher, owner of Get Skills Insurance Training Academy, and we are doing some awesome things this coming up week. We're going to have another class coming with, I think I have 8 or 9 more people that have decided that they want to change their income and change their life and their family's life. So I am looking forward to our new classes that are coming up. I have to put that little plug in. But it is so wonderful to be here, and I'm looking forward to talking with the Butts in reference to budgeting. And, in my household, ain't no man do the budgeting, So we're going to see how this is going to work. But budgeting and how important it is. And again, we're glad that everyone is with us. Thank you so much for coming out, and let's get going. Where are the Butts? Are they here? Uh-oh. Okay. Can Craig and Sharon, how are you?
We're doing well.
All right. Awesome. Good to see you both. I think Flo just froze, so why don't you give us a small introduction of yourself?
Okay, let me take my glasses up so I won't look so intelligent, and then I can see. There we go. Wow. Kind of like squeezed into this little screen too, ain't we?
Yeah, we are.
Exactly. Move a little bit closer. You.
Okay, I'm
good.
As close as I can get.
Basically, well, Sharon and I are the founders of a nonprofit organization called Unity and Community. Many people know about Unity and Community. Of course, for the last 6 years on our River Street. We've been the only consistent African American couple to actually run a nonprofit organization that does arts and craft and entertainment on River Street itself. Of course, we've been hiatus for the last year because of COVID, and we're looking for it to open back up again in 2000, hopefully this year. And we also have been doing other nonprofit kind of activities. Like for instance, Richmond Hill, we did the first 2019 Martin Luther King parade that's ever been in Richmond Hill. Continues on there right now. And
Uh-oh.
I guess someone didn't want us to say that. How's that? We also do some other we do movies to get back in the community in Richmond Hill, and we're going to do a back to school event here in 2000. I mean, here on the 30th, next weekend, for the young folks going back to school. And we're going to do an international food festival on September 12th. September 12th. I'm looking for good international food festival people, food vendors who want to come to Richmond Hill and get a chance to enjoy themselves there. So yeah, we do a lot of things.
Okay, well, okay. So since back to school is coming up, why don't you tell us a little bit about the back to school event, and then give us a little bit about the international food.
Sharon, you want to go ahead?
Well, the back to school event is going to be in connection with the movies that we do. We try to do movies almost monthly, and we focus on the underrepresented and the disenfranchised communities in Richmond Hill for the most part, giving those communities something that usually is not extended to their communities, because a lot of them don't have transportation and things of that sort to get to where other things are going on. And so for the back to school, we're going to be handing out backpacks, and the backpacks will have school supplies in them, because with school starting back a few days after that, sometimes still, people are still dealing with finances and things surrounding COVID.
Right.
You have to make a decision as to what's going to be what's more important. And school supplies are not always that important, especially in the grand scheme of things. But when you are a child going back to school, you don't want to have an empty backpack or no backpack, because it just was not affordable.
That's right.
And so this is something that we always did on River Street. When we were down there in July, we would always have a back to school event and give out backpacks and school uniforms. Of course, in Richmond Hill, they don't wear school uniforms, so that was something that we didn't have to deal with there. And so it's just a matter of giving back. We're going to have an art exhibit or an art project for the children. We're going to have a Corvette club that's going to display some of their cars, a motorcycle club that's going to have some of their cars. We are one of our sponsors is Food Lion, and they're going to provide a lot of the food and all that we're going to have there.
Barbecue, have barbecue out there.
Yes.
Wieners and hot dogs.
Yeah, hot dogs, hamburgers,
and
things of that sort.
Who's Craig? You cooking?
No, she does the burning.
Yeah,
she does the burning, and when it comes to cooking out, she does that. I just eat it.
Yeah.
So Ms. Butts, can you tell us where, when you go out from Richmond Hill, where is it going to be?
It's going to be at Thrive Early Learning Center, which is 465 Harris Trail Road.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The International Food Festival is going to be held at that same place in September 12th. And again, we're looking for authentic international food, foodie people who want to not only come and eat, but who also would like to be able to share their cultural background when it comes to food, Jamaica to Asian to Pan American to Latin to Afro American. I mean, we'd love to have you guys come out. The first time we'll be doing it in Richmond Hill, we want to do it every year too at the same time. We have a sponsor that's really working with us. She has a restaurant there called the what?
La Casita Peruvian Restaurant.
And so she's really hosting, heading this whole thing with us. Her sons come from down from Mexico and other places to actually be part of it. So we have also dancers, international dancers and stuff like that. So we really want you to be part of that. And if you want to get all this information, know more about it, all you have to do is email us at unity and the letter N, the community at hotmail.com. That's unity and the letter N, and then spell out the community at hotmail.com.
And one thing that's very important for those people who are interested in being food vendors, the deadline is August 12th, because they have to be registered with the Department of the Environmental Health, Bryan County Environmental Health, 1 month before the event.
And we'll give you all that information when you email us with your information, especially your telephone number. We can text you back with all that information. I think the last one, at least she wanted to say, she told me about, is the Taking the Journey show, the one that we do on relationships. And we're looking forward to be part of this particular this platform. Yes. We've been doing that for about a year, taking the journey together. WRUU, we've been doing that on there. All we do is just talk about how relationships can be, should be, maybe might be, from a healthy point of view, and we pretty much keep it kind of live like this and very authentic.
Okay, so give me that email again. It's unity in the community at
hotmail.com. And if you go to Facebook, you can always go to Unity in the Community, look for the one that's in Savannah, and you can always leave information there or post something there, and we'll try to get back with you. That's the correct one.
All right. And then we'll look for you on Facebook under what?
Unity and Community. There's two of them. There's Unity and the Community. You can find us under, and then you can also find it under Sharon's name. It's Sharon Butts, I think it is.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the two. And then when you type in Unity Community on Facebook, and you'll find a Unity Community in Savannah, you can't miss it. We're the only Unity Community in Savannah that pops up anyway.
Gotcha. All right. So we hear that you're going to be on this show, on this platform coming up real soon.
Yeah.
So what's it all going to be about?
It's all going to be about relationships and how to make sure you have a thriving relationship or a healthy relationship. And we talk about the different principles and different things that we have found that helps you to have a thriving relationship.
She just being official. All we're gonna do is gonna keep it high.
Yes.
Yes. Definitely. Thank you. So what does hot mean, Miss?
Well, okay.
Don't worry, we know we can't be too expert. And we all grown here. So anyway, so what's hot? Oh.
Y'all keep messing with
it's real hot. That's real hot there. So hot. The cell phone.
So tell what's being hot? What's it stand for?
Hot is honest, open, and transparent. That's what you have to be within a relationship in order for it to be healthy and thriving and to make it work.
Okay. Well, here today, I think you all are going to talk to us about budgeting.
Yes, we were forced by Mad Flo. She got mad at us and she said, "Hey, you better talk about this budget thing, especially since you a black man and you are doing the budget in this particular relationship when us women usually do. I want you to, stand up for those guys and tell them what the heck do you really do to make this happen." Well, first of all,
he's going against the norm.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, first of all, she really allows this to happen. I'll be honest with you. The sister does allow because she does trust me. So that's an important thing. Trust is important from that. I'm not saying we trust in all areas. That's a growing process. But in the financial area, she is open to that. And quite frankly, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah. So not only do you do the budget for your household finances, you also do it for the business as well. So financial.
Yeah, we're being a small nonprofit organization. In fact, right now I'm trying to work with United Way is trying to work with the fact that a lot of nonprofits who are led by black people or people of color, many of us are being operated on small budgets, small resources. And in turn, basically, we have to wear all the hats. Like I'm the CEO, besides the founder with my wife, and pretty much have to wear all the hats because of the fact that we don't have enough funds to be able to hire all the people that's necessary for us to operate. Even though we do big things, as we've always did, we can make something and make nothing and make something out of it. But yeah, I have to wear all the hats.
Mm-hmm. So, one simple question: when you're talking about your family budget, take example of your family budget, and for the men that's out there listening, because my husband does nothing. I mean, it's all on me. So, when we got into the marriage, he was used to not doing anything anyway. So when we came in, and when it came in, he was under bankruptcy. So I had to make sure all of that was taken care of, all the payments was paid on that, and other bills that he had. I just accumulated another person's responsibility, financial responsibility, making sure that everything was taken care of. And now that we've been together for about 20 years, and I'm still doing everything. And I always tell him, no need for two people being stressed out over finance. Just let one be stressed out over the finance part. So I'm handling everything. Make sure all the household bills are paid. Make sure all the insurances are paid. Make sure all the rental property we have is taken care of. And he does his part by making sure that he cooked me a good meal every day I get home. I don't have to worry about cooking. He makes sure that he cooks me a good meal. He makes sure he gets groceries in the house because I love to eat, and so he takes care of that part and our entertainment part. So how do y'all work it out as far as the budgeting, him doing the budgeting, and you balancing out, Sharon, with what do you do within the relationship?
Well, I would say to you first of all on that particular end, and we just were talking about this today. This is our second go around, meaning this is a second marriage. She was married for 30 years. I was married for 16, and I took care of the last budget even for the prior my prior marriage. What I found out too is that a lot of the systems, whether it's the credit reporting system or any of the creditors themselves, I mean, I just was talking, for some reason, they default those credits to us males, which I ain't too happy about. Because my first marriage, some of the bills that I didn't do carried along with me. And some of the bills that she had from her first marriage carried along with her, and I had to take care of it. So
it's called head of household.
I know it.
Head of household.
So when you complain about, hey, head of household, something y'all don't know, the law still make us the fall guy. And we got the fall guy stuff already. But on top of that, because of that, I figured since it's fell into my lap as my responsibility, and this falls again, it's going to really piss me off.
Yeah,
but anyway,
my hand right here. So
I figured that I might as well go ahead and take care of the bill instructions, since at the end of the day, it's going to really be in my name anyway, and my responsibility. So if it's going to be my responsibility, then darn it, I'm going to make sure it's done right.
And another thing about that is he's very good at it, and he's very comfortable with it. And
sometimes, most of the time,
yeah, almost all the time.
Okay.
And he does the necessary research and makes sure that the information is done right. He will take something and just go so deep into it, deeper than I would ever go. And I realize that, I recognize that, and I appreciate that. And so, to answer your question, what I do is, back at the beginning of our relationship, when I realized that, he was deep into philanthropic activities and running nonprofits and things like that. And I said, we both can't do that. So what's going to happen is you need to do this full time. I still love what I do, and I'm not ready to retire as I thought I was.
She's a teacher, by the way.
And so I stayed in the classroom. I said, I want to keep working. I was not going to until I realized that I missed the classroom. And so I work every day at teaching. But then you're talking about getting a meal cooked for you when you get home. I come home and I cook too, because that's my relaxation.
That's my husband's relaxation.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I love to do. Plus, it keeps him healthy.
Yeah, she definitely has changed my eating habits. Hey, I was just mostly, lay on the couch, eat, and then I go do my thing. But now I gotta not lay on the couch much more anymore. Another story. And in turn, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, she's a very good cook. She is a very good cook, and she cooks me the kind of stuff that's good for me. So I mean, I'm not mad at her on that end. I still have to drive all the time, but that's another story.
But you're a
So,
better driver too.
Yeah, okay.
so with most of our most of our listeners being struck with COVID and then trying to get over it, what can you tell them to do now as far as budgeting and getting their life back in order?
Well, for me, I think first of all, it's important is you can't be afraid to look at your bank account. Say it again. You can't be afraid to look at your bank account or your bank statement. And there's just no doubt about it. If you're not watching how your money's flowing, or where it's going, whether you do it in detail or not, then you basically are letting money run you instead of you run the money. And what happens many times, that money situation may be like water poured into a bucket, but the bucket's got a hole in the bottom, and the water's always going out, and your money's going out with it, and you don't even know it because you ain't even watching the bucket at all. So I think that's the first thing you got to do. And I have to admit, sometimes I hate to look at the bank account. I mean, every day you should do it, but sometimes I hate it looking at it. It doesn't seem to change the way I want it to. And sometimes it has expenditures I'm not comfortable with. But the bottom
Right.
line is, if you don't look at that bank account or wherever you keep your money out, then you're letting that particular money run you, and you are supposed to be using money as a tool, and you operate it and run it. I mean, that's the basics I can start with there.
One of the other things that, when we were talking about food a few minutes ago,
Mhm.
this is one of the big things that comes out of people's budget is food and how much they eat out and what they eat and
Yeah.
everything. And going into the grocery store, I found was one of the biggest drawbacks. That's one of those places where it just falls through the bottom of the bucket. Money does. But one of the things that we did during COVID was to order groceries. And when you are ordering groceries and having them delivered, you're getting generally the basic necessities. You
Mhm.
don't get
Yeah, that is
the
true.
things that you see just by walking through the store. You see this, then you grab it. You'll get the potato chips. Well, normally you wouldn't get the potato chips, but you see them and they speak to you and say, "Go home, take me home with you."
Right.
So that's one of the things that will help too, is staying within the grocery budget, because that grocery budget, especially if you have children, can tear you apart.
Especially
Exactly.
if you're trying to eat healthy, it can tear you apart.
Yeah.
It-
Healthy
it-
always costs more than junk food, and I always wondered about that. You go to the store, you want to buy a organic chicken. The organic chicken costs you $10. When you go get the regular whole chicken costs about $3 or $4. I always wondered, why was organic so much higher than junk food? Because you know what, the industry, what we're in, they want you to get that quick food. It's a big industry. It sells. If you want quality, you got quality with organic.
That's why McDonald's has a whole $1 menu.
Yes. Yes.
But I would say to this, because again, I'm gonna do the guy thing. I'll be honest with you, because I am a guy. Anyway, that we, I mean, we eat out sometimes too much. We that fast food thing, wham bam, get the food, thank you, ma'am.
And a lot of it is our lifestyle.
And it cost us. It cost us in the long run. I mean, it seriously does. So she has at least got me down from not eating out all the time, and that cost. And connecting to what you were saying is, you'll find out when you cut down on eating a lot out, you'll have some money to buy that healthy food.
Yeah, true. Well, another question I want to ask you: purchases. Have it ever happened in a relationship where Sharon wanted to purchase something or buy something, and you say, no, that's not going to happen. We're not going to get that. And how do you basically come to an agreement on different purchases that one person wants, the other person doesn't. So how do you work that out? And a lot of people goes through that in a relationship. Somebody might want to buy a new car and say, no, we don't need a new car right now, or just go and buy clothes or something like that. How do you work it out where you are still, civil when the other person says no?
I will let her answer that, but I would say this. We have not had a new car, and I've never had a new car all my life because of the depreciation that it happened so quickly with it. So every car that I bought by cash. Every car we own, which is more than one, and we're getting ready to get another one, it is not going to be owned by anyone but us. Period. But luckily, I'm also a mechanic, so I can work on things. And plus, I know what it takes to buy something, so you don't have to worry about being a clunker or a lemon. So those kind of skills you need to learn when you're younger, too. And hopefully someone teaches you those skills to help you out. And because that's a very big, large expenditures outside of your income when it comes to cars and maintenance. So we don't do the new car thing, but I'll let her go ahead and answer.
I want to cut this.
And fortunately, we are on the same page a lot when it comes to big ticket items and things like that, and we discuss them. As far as frivolous buying and whatnot, I am so frugal. It is ridiculous. I am still wearing clothes that I made like 10, 15 years ago. And so, I was just thinking the other day, okay, I need to make about 5 new outfits for the new school year. But I don't spend a lot. And so that's one of those things that he doesn't have to deal with a lot.
Tell the truth.
But I was getting there. But I have to deal with him buying me things. And he will see a dress and decide, oh, that'll look nice on you. And the next thing I know, I got it.
No, hold on.
So, okay.
No, hold on. You do look at it, and then from there, make a decision of which one you have more than one. But yes, I buy a lot of her clothes that she has now. She ain't never said no yet, but
every once in a while I'll say, oh, I don't like that when I do, but that's because I look at the price, and he doesn't know I'm looking at the price. But for the most part, and he has such good taste.
You have blue.
I mean, what can you say? So that's but
You have blue.
buying frivolously like that's not
You have
the thing that he has to deal with. For me, I have to kind of deal with it from him because he always wants to give me something.
And then I'm also a gadget guy, so I buy a lot of gadget stuff for the IT stuff I do, for the audiovisual stuff I do, especially when it comes to the nonprofit. So I buy a lot of gadgets, probably way too much gadgets. I'll be honest with you.
But they all have a purpose.
They do,
and
they
do. And they are not things.
She believes that too, so I'm glad about that.
They're not things that I can disagree with. Because that's
she may not know what it is, but that's
when I ask, he explains it.
I do.
And
I
then,
will do that.
And then when it comes in, I see it going to that purpose.
Yes, you do.
And so I don't have an issue with that because I haven't seen him just buy something and say, I wanted this, and so there it is, and it's just sitting there collecting dust. So that's not an issue that we have, really.
I hear two things in there, which is money makers saving, where you're saving money. You're making your clothes. So you started sewing when you was what? How old?
I was about 20 something. I was pregnant and didn't like the maternity clothes I saw, and my mother was in the United States and I wasn't. So necessity.
How was this?
So that's great. And another thing I hear is a money making way to save money is the fact that Craig says that he fixes things up. He also buys gadgets that work, and he also, any cars that you have, he basically does the repairs on it. That is money. That's saving money there for one thing. Do it yourself, and really, our society now is more of a do-it-yourself society. We want to be able to do it ourselves. And so those are great tips right there. Fix it up yourself, learn it and fix it up. And also learn. I did the sewing thing for a while, but it didn't stick with me. I just don't like shopping for clothes and don't even like sewing for making my clothes.
So I don't care for shopping, but I will make it in a heartbeat.
Well, we got James Goodman out here, and he's saying something. He says most Americans could be millionaires except for two things: they buy expensive cars,
Mhm.
and 2, they get divorced. Moral of the story: buy used cars. 2, stay with first spouse.
Well, tell him in this case, this is the second spouse, and because I'm budging on both of them, hey, at least the second pick, she is not that frugal. I'm not saying the first one was, but she's not.
I'm
Okay,
very frugal.
she's not. What do they call a woman that who cost you a whole bunch of money? What do they call them?
Gold diggers?
No, not gold.
No,
Well,
spendthrift.
something like that.
Yeah.
So somebody who's very expensive as a woman, you got to pay a whole bunch of money for or with. So she's not like that. So that's cool.
Yeah, well, that is good. That is definitely good. One of the other things I think I talked about last week was, we are having more people that's over the age of 70 years old going into bankruptcy.
Why
What do you think of that? And have you heard of that happening more and more in our community?
I know bankruptcy is something that's big in our community. We can understand because our finances have never been that, how could I say it, consistent, and because of how the society has treated us with lack of jobs and in turn not being able, good paying jobs, and our experiences not necessarily being well valued back in return. Currently, I've been in the IT department, the IT world for years, and been the first black guy that's worked at many companies from IBM to MCI, to a lot of large companies, I'll be honest with you. And I didn't necessarily always get paid well, let alone was I able to stay there, like the last hire, first fire situation thing. So that has a lot to do with it too. Yet I do know, because we have did a bankruptcy before. In fact, I have had 2 bankruptcies. We do understand that bankruptcies also can be used as a good way to reboot your situation, and help you start again. And you don't have to feel uncomfortable and shame in it. And I do know that many of us don't know about that tool of a bankruptcy to help reboot your situation and hope you start something better than what you did before. I understand.
Wow.
I never thought of it like that. I just look at when people after a certain age, I mean, we shouldn't be dealing with, and there had to be something that we didn't get right, I guess, the first time around, or we wait too long or something.
It could be. We're not 70 yet, so I can't tell you that.
I know. I understand.
So you're far from it.
Thank you.
We'll appreciate that.
That's all right. We see a guy next door to us in his RV. He's 74. He don't even look 74 whatsoever, period.
Okay, so recently I did some RV traveling. Is that what you guys are doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, ours is mostly weekend traveling. We got blessed with one, and so like right now we found out RVing is something that a lot of black folks are getting into. We're part of more than one different RV black group that exists out there. We didn't know about it until we started this. And a lot of African Americans are RVing, and a lot of single African American women are RVing alone around the country. They have their own YouTube channels, and they're really taking off. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, the increase in purchase of RVs increased during COVID. A lot of people, especially people of color, started doing purchasing RVs because of the fact that the social distancing and everything, and now they can do a family trip, go somewhere and still stay in the RV, like they go to Disneyland or any of those other places. They don't have to worry about going to a hotel or anything like that. So there was an increase in RV purchases since COVID.
Yeah, you just have to be careful because of how capitalism is, the law of supply and demand. Wow. Some of them, the prices are just unbelievably crazy.
They have skyrocketed.
I mean, they just have went out of the roof.
Since we first started looking over a year ago, the price was just now the prices are unbelievable. If we had started looking now, we would have decided this is not for us.
So what do you call it when the companies overprice their products, like the gas and everything? What do you call that? Gouging. So I guess RV companies probably gouging at the same time.
Yeah, seems like
taking advantage of the situation.
Yeah. Some of us here talking about make sure you have too much debt. and not filing bankruptcy. And I guess in that particular situation, I would say, hmm, I would be more about trying to budget and budget well and tighten down budgeting. And many times you may not have to go into a bankruptcy situation if it could be known like that. Some situations can be out of your hand. Again, if you're getting debt from somebody else's, and it's not really yours. And sometimes it's kind of like a losing battle, and you got to take. I'll just say that sometimes you have to take it right. And I'll be honest with you, many businesses do that right now to reboot their situation and then move on and keep on continuing business. You
Mhm.
can do that right now when it comes to a bankruptcy. I know that you have to have a certain amount of income, from what I heard, before you could go into bankruptcy. It used to be you can have almost any income through bankruptcy. It's not that anymore.
Yeah, things change when it comes to bankruptcy. I had to file, and I'm pretty well versed with it. But bankruptcy, when I went through it, it was a total blessing for me because I got a free house out of the deal. I got, it was a great benefit for me to go through bankruptcy, and I'm out of it now. And so, I'm telling everybody, I've got two credit cards. Um, I was able to get loans from one loan. I was able to get my furniture finance from Rooms to Go, and I was in bankruptcy, just getting out of bankruptcy August of, it hadn't even been a year yet.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it worked
yeah.
pretty good. It'll work for you, but you also have to realize that while you're in bankruptcy, make sure you pay pay on time, because that shows credibility as far as responsibility, paying your bills as well. So by the time you get out of bankruptcy, really you're building your credit up as you go with bankruptcy. But don't get to the point where you get back in bankruptcy again. I've seen people get out of it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
5 years later they're back in it, and for whatever reason they didn't learn from the first lesson.
Exactly.
And
They
Exactly.
one
just
of those things I find when I talk to people is they get stuck on big ticket items and brand new items. I need a brand new house. I need a brand new car. I need a
Mhm.
brand new furniture to fix to fill that brand new house, and it's not necessary. It's easier to know, okay, which room do I have to have furnished? Okay, I need a bed, so let me get a bed to start with. And some of the furniture that you have, what's wrong with it? And that's one of the things that a lot of people get caught up into when it starts.
Name
Uh,
brands. Yeah,
yeah,
the name
name
brands.
brands and brand new.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Mhm.
there's more to it. While you're spending um, uh, you get a room of furniture for $3,000. I'm just throwing these numbers out. You get a room full of furniture that says $3,000. So by the time you finish paying the financing and everything on it, you've paid for it twice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
you got
and,
that right with financing.
and please don't miss a month, because
Mm-hmm.
if you miss a
Right.
month, it's that interest is compounded, and
And,
so
and how
you're
about
always under.
this? Many times you end up seeing that the DAV and Salvation Army
Exactly.
after it's all over anyway.
So used is always good too.
Oh no, ain't nothing wrong with use. Come on, please. Yeah,
Yeah, I I love used.
use is in the eye of the beholder. Shoot.
Yeah.
Users and eye to beholder.
That is
So
so true.
My mother used to say, if it's to get something used, she would say, well, it's new to you.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And it's true. This is my new car.
Well,
You know.
for me, because we grew up very very poor, projects and all that stuff. I was just used to hand me downs. I was
Mhm.
used to Salvation Army. I was used to Goodwill. Then we moved up to Kmart and Blue Light Special. Some of y'all don't even know what that is. you know, so we were kind of used to that kind of lifestyle from then in, and I really didn't move away from it much. Even when I went to the military, even though I worked in IT world, I made very very good money and all that stuff. I just never lost that kind of mentality that came along with what my mom taught me and out of
Yeah.
that kind of way. And it did as well. It did as well.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and I'm the same way. I grew up. I didn't really grow up with uh, goodwill and all of that, although my children did, just because, why not? But I grew up with hand-me-downs from that came through my mother's job. My mother was a maid. She worked for white people. And what do they do when they have clothes that their children can't wear anymore? They
And
give them
very
to the
good
maid.
clothes.
Made.
Yes. And so she would bring them home. And what she would do is, my sister and I would see what we wanted, and then whatever was left over, or if it was clothes for boys or whatever, she would call one of our cousins and say, "I got these clothes. Come on out and get it, and see who I can wear." So we would pass these clothes around the family, and so everybody, exactly, everybody got benefit of this without having to pay anything for it.
They don't do that anymore, Shaq.
Oh,
I
oh,
don't think they do that
oh,
anymore.
I don't,
Seriously, I
I,
don't think they do that
I
anymore.
doubt it. But see, that was back then. But then, they weren't making anything either, as far as what they were being paid. And so this was kind of like their guilt complex, and plus otherwise, they to them it was throwing it away anyway. To us it was, oh, I got a new dress. You know,
Yeah.
and so, if it was either hand-me-downs that way, or my mother would make what we will wear. And so, brand new, that's a concept that was just never something that was that important to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's a good way to save money too.
so
Yeah.
you all have so many businesses going on right now. And before we go, we want to bring back and talk with us about the things that are coming up and the things that you're doing. So go from the unity in the community to everything else that you said earlier, so that all of us can remember to attend those, or if we want to participate.
Okay. Well, first of all, again, if you put our email address out there, unityinthecommunity@hotmail.com. Again, unityinthecommunity@hotmail.com. That will give you a
The letter
chance.
N.
The letter N. They'll give you a chance to get a hold of us, and we can give you all our information. Again, our first event is coming up July 31st. In Richmond Hill is the community. Excuse me, is the
Back to school event. The theme is think beyond your circumstances.
We're going to have we'll have some older people who are coming as a Corvette club, coming in as a Black Bikers Club. And I think we're going to also have one of the city council person. They're just going to give their testimony.
And a few other people.
Exactly. They're just going to give their testimony of how and what brought them to where they are, to reach out to the younger people that are there, to let them know that where they are, they don't have to always figure it's always going to be that way, that they can move in society. They can move in life and be something different than what they started
Overcoming
with.
is always a possibility.
Exactly. And outside of having a there and having food, we'll have our artists is going to be there for the young kids. So it's that really community give back kind of old fashioned, what I call cultural diverse event that I used to go to when I was younger in some of the communities that I lived in, that guys would do for us in a poorer kind of community.
Yeah.
The other one is going to be, of course, the International Food Festival. We're very excited about having people from different places who have cultural food who will be coming and doing pop-ups. I also got a couple of stores going to come and going to do their food thing, cook foods for the restaurants. And of course, we're going to have authentic dances is going to be there. So we're looking for African, we're looking for Jamaican, we're looking for Asian, we're looking for Peruvian, I think it is.
Hispanic,
all of those communities are different, authentic, diverse people want to come in and be part of what we're doing. Exactly. To bring and represent that particular culture, and we want to do that every year if possible. The first but not least is the Taking the Journey show.
Wait a minute, we don't want to forget our sponsors.
Go ahead. Yes,
we definitely want to mention our sponsors: Thrive Early Learning Center, Food Lion, and La Casita Peruvian Restaurant. We definitely want to mention them for the the two events that we're having. And for, yes, as you said, taking the journey together. Tomorrow morning from 9 to 10 on WRUU, we will be speaking about mutualism. And so that's every Saturday morning from 9 to 10 on WRUU, taking the journey together.
Yes, exactly. Someone's making a lot of noise in the background. I don't know who that is.
That's my little grandbaby.
Sounds like a little person.
No, 9 to 10
It's actually from 9 to 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
every morning,
Yeah,
every Saturday morning.
every Saturday
At
morning.
9 o'clock or 9:30?
9 o'clock.
No, 9 o'clock. 9 to 10 o'clock.
All right.
Hey, are y'all still sponsoring the date night for couples? Do y'all still do that?
Yes. Sharon, you
Yes,
want
we do a date night the fourth Friday in every month, and
it won't be this month.
no, it won't be this month. We've got too much going on, but the next one will be in August.
We usually hold it at
La Casita in Richmond Hill.
But we are looking for a good restaurant in the Savannah area because we have several couples who have said they'd love to come to our date night, but they would love to be able to do it in Savannah. So if any good restaurant out there would like to work with us to do a date night in Savannah, please get a hold of us at unityinthecommunity@hotmail.com. Thank you. Because we would love to work with you and do an event in Savannah. You guys will enjoy it. It's something very, very different. It will definitely, in turn, give you a chance to get closer with your particular loved one that you're with. You'll get enjoy a good dinner at the same time. And I guarantee you, when you leave the place, you're going to either love her more or you're going to go, what the heck was I doing with her in the first place? Or vice versa.
And you get the chance to connect with other couples also.
Exactly.
Okay, so this is for couples. This is date night for couples.
For couples, yes.
All right, awesome. We all need some of those because, we've been married for a very long time and we kind of forget to take some time for ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
So that's really important. And normally our lives are just, go in different places most times.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that we try to encourage couples to do is take some time out together. If it's nothing more than, taking a walk around the block, but when you're out there together, when you're doing something together, somebody's going to start a conversation. So, it's a good time to connect.
You have to figure it this way. Man, I'm spending time with her anyway, so what the
heck? Absolutely. All right. Well, we want to thank you guys for coming out today. Anthony.
Hey, I am so sorry. Too much stuff going on, but I made it at the tail end, and I am so excited to hear all this that the Butts have going on. Miss Sharon and Mr. Craig, what a great concept, date night. So is there like dancing or what is it? Is it just sitting down and talking or what is it?
You have to come to be part of it. We do have a game that we do play that really gets a chance for couples to get to know themselves well. But you got to come to be able to enjoy it and find out. We can't give that away.
And one of the things that you said, Tanya, about people being together for a while and forgetting how to go about doing it. Mm-hmm. It's one of those things that you bring your spouse out and you get to do something different. Right. And it's all a mystery. So come on out and see what it's all about.
We usually charge somewhere about $70. It all depends on what restaurant is, which is $35 for each individual per person. And the meal's worth it. The ambiance is perfect. What we present is perfect, or very interesting, to say the least. And I guarantee when you leave that place, you'll go, "Oh wow, yeah, I like this. Let's do this again." Hopefully.
Okay, so tell me about that one more time.
It's the fourth Friday in August will be our next one.
Location or how do we get
at this point, it will be at La Casita Peruvian Restaurant in Richmond Hill.
And yet, if we find another good restaurant in Savannah, we'll do it there. Again, if you want that information, you got to go to Unity in the community.com and ask us, and we'll give you that information to stay in touch with what we're doing.
Okay.
All right. Well,
there's always that little harbor cruise thing out of Savannah for you to consider.
Give us the information. We'll be glad to talk with them, and hopefully we can make this happen.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We've had a couple of people who want us to do it in Atlanta, but like I say to them, listen, if you're that interested, you've got feet on the ground, you know your area well, we know what we're doing. Hey, just give us that helping hook and we'll make it happen there for you if you want to do it.
And the other thing is we always make it intimate. You won't have 10, 15, 20 couples.
Yeah,
We
don't
always
do that.
make it so that the couples that are there, they get our attention.
Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We want you to stay on for just a couple of minutes after the show so that we can close out. But we want to thank everyone for joining us. Thanks to our fans for being there and being with us today. We truly appreciate all the comments that we got off of Facebook. And since Anthony wasn't with us earlier, we're going to let you close us out.
Tanya, you got 8 minutes left.
She always do that. She always
We came
do that.
in late.
What is wrong with her?
Yeah, we came in at
Oh,
109.
that's what it is. She hot. She run the temperature.
We came in.
Yeah, we came in at 109, but it still ends at 1. It still ends at 1. We came in late. But Tanya, you get it.
We still got 7 minutes.
Yeah, we still.
I got to catch up a little bit on something.
Yeah, Anthony got to catch up.
A little bit.
You met the Butts.
I met them.
And you know, they do fabulous things in the community, all the things that they do. But the most important thing that happens in that relationship is the fact that Mr. Craig Butts, he handles the financial budget for the household, and he also does it for the business.
Make me think of that James Brown song, It's a Man's World. No,
Yeah.
let me stop.
But it's nothing without a girl.
By the way,
But it's nothing
Remember that.
without a woman or a girl.
We were in Augusta, RVing up there at Diamond Lake, giving them a plug too. And guess what? We saw the statue of who? James Brown. It's right in the middle of Augusta with the mic and all. We took a picture. Yeah. And in fact, the museum up there has a whole section out for Mr. Brown.
And that's his hometown. That's where he's from.
Yeah. And they honor him well.
Yeah, they do. In fact, they got an arena named after his name.
Yeah, James Brown Arena.
Yeah.
Did y'all see the movie?
Yes.
Yes.
Chadwick Boseman.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. It was awesome. But we still got 4 minutes. Anything else y'all want to share with us? Anything to discuss? Anthony, you have anything else to add to?
Well, first of all, I must extend my apology for being so extremely late. That is so very uncanny of me and so much out of character. But I did have a lot. One of my colleagues put doing too much, and that is absolutely right. I was just doing too much, and so my apologies for that. But I really like your beard. Craig, I can't let that go. I really like that beard, man. I really love that. My beard was very similar to that. My mustache just stayed black, and my beard stayed black, and then my sideburns stayed gray. My wife said, "Ooh," and then all of a sudden it all turned gray.
It ain't changing until one of them wears out.
That's it. I hear you. So how long have you guys been doing your show?
Well, we've been doing Taking the Journey Together for 1.5 years on WRUU, but this is kind of like Taking the Journey Together Part 3. We did a blog talk radio show for about 2.5 years to 3 years, and before that, when we met, my husband had a what do you call it?
It was a blog called Taking the Journey. It had about 7 writers and authors who were part of my guest on my show. We had about 100,000 listeners. 100,000 people who would actually like the blog.
Yeah.
When I started them, but that was years ago.
Yes. So we've been at this. As a matter of fact, he was at it before I met him, and then I came on board and have just been carrying on with him.
Now, I know someone may have already asked this, but let me ask it anyway. How old are you guys?
We can't say. We can't say, otherwise we have to kill you.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna pray for y'all.
They're young. They're young.
They're young.
Yeah, they're young.
Let's say we're at least over 50. How's that?
Okay, at least over 50. Okay.
It's
Look,
just the fact that whatever age they are, that they're still going strong in a relationship and in their business.
All right. So now next week we're going to have something else going on. And we got to have you guys come back sometime. When are they coming back, Flo?
And we hadn't set that up yet, but we'll
right.
But you know what? They're going to have their own show on ATR come next month. They need to invite us to their show once they get on ATR.
Look at that.
Platform.
Well, you have to talk to Julius about that. He's the one. He's the man that runs that thing.
Oh, you got it. You're on that next month. You're on it. You just got to pick a day and time. You'll be on the platform, and then you invite your guest that you want on your show.
Okay. Cool.
So looking forward to having you on the platform sometime next month.
We're really looking forward to it.
Yes, that's exciting.
Besides your platform, we want to give a plug to Parent University. Michael, what's his name? O'Neill, I think it is.
Yeah.
We have been asked after doing a show one time. We came on Saturday. He's been asked for us to do our show on his platform too. And then we have a friend of ours who is over the Malcolm X Museum. I think it is in Richmond, in Omaha, Nebraska. And he's also asked us to be on one of his shows of taking the journey together. So we're very excited about how this is kind of expanding, if you may want to use the word.
Oh, that's great. Oh, great.
All right. Well, man, that is phenomenal. Well, listen, folks, I just want to show off my shirt real quick. See this? It says, "You're not free.
Financially free." All right.
You are financially free. All right. All right. I just want to show that off real quick. Hey, listen, next week we're going to have Emmanuel Henson with us. He's a certified family planner. And so, folks, you're with us today. You don't want to miss that. And those that are watching us, we want to make sure that you like us on Facebook. ATR, All Things Relevant Media on Facebook, and the ATR Black Media Network on YouTube. Well, you can't like that, but on Facebook, like, just go ahead and like, just keep liking it, do at least 10 times each. So if there's 10 of y'all and you do it 10, that's 100. So just keep liking it, right? Yeah, just keep liking it. And I have to extend apology for last week because I said that Julius was running for mayor out of Garden City and not Portland.
Oh,
Lord have mercy. I don't know how Tanya let me do that, but she did. She kept saying it so quietly. But yeah, the man is running for mayor for Port Wentworth. We are out of here. And we want to be timely so the next group, whoever's coming in, could be here. Sharon and Craig, thank you so very much for your input, for what you've done and what you're doing for the community. Keep it up. We got your back. There go the noisemaker. There goes the baby.
Hello.
Hey, baby. All right. Hey, look, guys, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Thank you for having us. And Craig and Sharon, please. Stay right there with us, all right? They're just going to close us out, but we want a few moments just to be with you. Thanks again, guys.
Peace.
Mm-hmm.